Principles. This is Practical Prince. Today we're doing talk and tarot, so go ahead and drop your questions into the chat, the comments, whatever it is on your system, and we'll just do as many readings as we can within the next hour. While we're waiting for those to come in, I'll go ahead and shuffle our decks. This is Prisma Visions. And its sibling deck, Cosmovisions, by the same author. Yeah, that was better. Get a nice shuffle in. Sure. We'll do Destiny next. We'll go ahead and do Lucine next. This is the Twilight Edition. We've also got the Midnight Edition. I consider these daughters to the Destiny deck. Twin brothers. Hey, Mishti. Doing pretty good. Day just got started. I'm a little sleep deprived, but nothing too much has happened yet, so it's good so far. How are you doing? Do you have a time frame in particular? Or is it more like, when is the next good thing? Okay. Let's go ahead and highlight that. And let's find out. We'll be starting with Cosmovisions. Okay, we can ask that too. We'll start with the highlighted one. Let's find out. Hey, Lavina. Doing pretty good. How are you doing? I'm doing Mishti right now, and she had a second question, but that's it. Excellent. Let me make sure I got all the cards. Okay. Are these separate things? Basically. So this might look like a tempered pair. They just happen to be related. It'll be this thing first. That's the main thing. This, um, it's related. You can also think of it as fallout. Um, it does have some of its own legs that it stands on, but it's definitely related to, well, fallout from the first. So we've got life on Earth and 9 of birds. Okay. Life on Earth, well, this is the Cosmo deck. It mixes up some of the names. This would normally be the world. So there's a sense of completeness and wholeness that goes with this. It would speak affirmatively to balance in your life. Um, the 9 of birds is more concerning. Um, this would normally be 9 of swords, which isn't necessarily bad. It just means, well, that you need to be focused. Let me go ahead and check for the details on that one, because I can't quite remember if the focus is over the top or if it needs to stay strong. Wrong side. Yeah, focus. Staying focused. So there's definitely going to be distractions. There's definitely going to be confusion and various things going on. This one suggests staying on point. Whatever your target is, whatever your goal is, keep your eye on that and don't let other things get in your way, really. Don't let them disturb you and perturb you. But yeah, definitely got good coming. Yeah, it's just doing your best to hold on and keep on with that. So that's our first one. For the second one, is Labanita Goswami responsible for the misunderstandings in my relationship with Sujal? Let's find out. We probably need a different deck. Not to say this can't, but there's so many more decks that lean towards relationship stuff. Yeah. Hey, Shauna. We'll find out. Let me finish up with these two, and then I'll get to your question. Yeah, that'll be fun. Okay. Classic 3-card answer. Do the cards themselves have meaning? No, we're really just here for the yes/no. So let's find out. 9 of Wands, the Chariot, Strength. All affirmative. So yes, they're responsible for it. So hopefully that helps you navigate that situation. Yeah. We'll just do this, and I'll read while we do. And that was, okay, there we go. This must be a big question if I haven't got it yet. Okay. No problem, Mishti. Glad I could help. I think Lavina is still sending the question, so Shauna, we'll go ahead and do yours. And then once we get Lavina's, we'll go back. Or we'll finish and then go back. But, which step? Looks like Destiny will be answering this one. And let's see what else we can do with it. Okay. Let's see. Bear with me now. Okay. So our cards on the end are going to give us extra information. The set is obviously giving us the yes/no. So I guess that might not be obvious, but that's what's going on. 3 of Cups, Strength, 8 of Pentacles. These are all yes cards. So yes, you'll be able to pay it off. Yeah, so the 3 of Cups and the 8 of Pentacles are the ones we're going to be getting extra info from. 3 of Cups, there's a certain how to put it? I mean, joy is the word coming to mind. This particular deck focuses more on a celebratory aspect of the 3 of Cups. And that's really what there is there. I might pull that up just so that I can get more from the guide itself, but that's the gist. The 8 of Pentacles I definitely want to look up, especially for this deck, just because it's been a while. The notes are achievement and education, a certain level of mastery. But yeah, we're going to want more details. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that up. And we'll start with 8 of Pentacles. And I am sharing, yeah, okay. 8 of Pentacles indicates that there is great advancement in your work and finances. Perhaps you are working toward the accomplishment of a greater life goal. The card reflects the need for a logical and diligent approach to your projects. This card is also known as the Apprentice card. It comes up in readings to show education, perhaps in the form of a degree or a qualification. You will gain great success in your endeavors as long as you take the responsibility of learning seriously. And just to clarify one thing, when it talks about apprentice, we're not speaking to the novice stages. Um, this would be more journeyman level. Um, I'd have to look up how what the traditional stages would be. But you already have some skill that you've developed when it talks about apprentice. You definitely want to improve and refine and master it some more, but it's not like you're starting from nothing. So definitely that one's very positive, and really not just keeping at it, um, because there is the element of progression. So if you're not quite sure what that is, figure out that plan, that goal, that target that you're working towards, because that's also a key part of that. We'll move on to the Three of Cups. It's about joyful celebration. This is a time for indulgence, parties, reunions. There is an outpouring of love and emotional growth strengthening your connection with others. This card reveals an emotional or physical healing. Make sure to spend time with people who raise your vibration and energy. 3 is a number that signifies creation, and this indicates a creative time and a positive moment to birth new goals and ideas. It is a time to let yourself shine. So definitely the last part is matching up with Eight of Pentacles, having that goal and progressing towards it. Um, Let me see if I can get a better sense of the rest, how relevant it is, I guess. It feels like a passive thing. Well, you'll definitely experience it. Um, like there's an outpouring of love and emotional growth, strengthening your connection with others. That's something you will experience. It doesn't feel like you need to take a particularly active role there. It's something you can be aware of. If you want to try capitalizing on that, that's fine. Um, but yeah, that's more something that's just going to happen to you. Okay, no problem, Shauna. Let's go ahead and put the guide away. And we'll go ahead and read the Venus. We'll put this away. Okay. There's different people involved. I'm not sure how many we'll get in a single go. We'll just find out. So let me get back there, and what's our deck? Yeah, Prisma does make a lot of sense for this one. Okay. Let's see. Okay. So we got both. Hey, Lydia. Go ahead and ask your question. I'll just do it after Ravina here. We got manager along the top, coworkers on the bottom. There's a card that should be here that's missing. And the impression I'm getting is that you have that much influence. You've got this wiggle room here that you can influence things one way or another. The other thing I note is that the coworkers one felt light. So this one might come out negative, but honestly, I wouldn't be too worried. Just because it's not that significant. Relevant, sure, but not super significant. Okay. Eight of Pentacles, the Fool, Nine of Swords. Let me check on that because I think that'll put a damper on the well, on the manager side of things. But, yeah. So that does put a damper on it. The Fool is positive, for better or worse. So your coworkers generally positive disposition. Your manager could go either way because this is yes balanced with this no. If you put in the effort, it's a matter of time before that becomes a yes. Otherwise, it'll probably just default to no. But your coworkers are already positive towards you. So yeah. Lydia. Can you I'm just not understanding the first part of healthier you can. Was that a typo maybe or an autocorrect? Health if you can? Is that maybe what you meant? No problem, Lavina. Okay. I'll just highlight that because that's a little more clear. Hey, Krishna. Let me do video first. Interesting. Midnight, you're seeing will answer this one. Yeah, go ahead, Lavina. I'll answer the other two first, but yeah, that's fine. We should have time. Okay. Mhm. These two are the most relevant, the ones on the bottom. This feels passive, so most likely how or what you will be experiencing. This one, there's an active element, something that you can do to help improve it. These are lighter cards. And let me figure out. And these are following a similar pattern. This one seems informative on the left. Sorry. And this one, like a suggestion. So, not mandatory by any means. Less important than following through on whatever that is, but could still help. Okay. So down here we've got Page of Pentacles, as well as Six of Wands. Up here we've got Eight of Wands, as well as Five of Wands. Okay, this seems pretty positive. Let me double check Page of Pentacles real quick. Six of Wands deals with victory, conquering. There might also be an element of courage. But I want to say the page deals with good news, but I want to double check. Sorry, I'm just going to skim it real fast. Yeah, it's an auspicious card, and basically there's good people working on it. Um, Let me go on to the Six of Wands since we're already here. Just in case. Yeah, the only thing this one would be asking of you is to be connected with others. Um, so, um, and how to put that? Yeah, it can either be staying in touch with family. It can be um, having goals. The sort of buddy system where people team up to get something done, even if it's individual rewards, like going on walks together in the morning, that sort of thing. Um, it wants you to include some sort of social aspect. You're best suited to figure out what that is. Um, Up here, Eight of Wands, you'll need diligence, and that's really the main gist of that, because it'll take time. I guess that's the other aspect you could speak to that. Um, Five of Wands, um, normally it would speak to um, competition. In this case, debate would be the more appropriate interpretation. Um, it just suggests that you really engage with your health. Um, and that's not to say you have to try every single thing. You don't have to do the full spectrum. It's just that you work to understand and you work to do your best with the knowledge you have. That doesn't mean you have to do everything that everyone ever suggested. Just to be clear on that. It's basically just asking you to put your best effort into solving this. But yeah, speaks positively to your progress and continuing on. It's work, but I don't think that was anything too surprising. So, best of luck. We've got Krishna. Um, After Krishna, I've got a question from Lavina, and then Ankansha. Um, no, Akanksha. You would be third, just FYI. But Krishna, you're welcome, Lydia. Okay, let's find out. Hey, Vandana. How's it going? Yes, we've got a few people getting readings that, if you're okay with waiting, we'll definitely get you in. Okay. These are separate. Okay. That does fit into the cat. Okay. Tempered. Do you have any more order? Okay, yeah, so time-wise. Okay. Those two. Okay. And then what's the time frame? Don't know. Okay. This one I expect to happen um, in a month, within a month. That's the time frame for that one. This is roughly a year from now. This shortly thereafter. This one just somewhere further out on the timeline. That's all I know about the win on that. As far as this is a tempered pair, so the top card will be the main meaning, but then it will get tempered, modified by the card underneath. So let's go at it. Strength, 9 of skies, 3 of fire, and then we've got 10 of earth. You probably can't see that. I'll drop this down. 10 of earth, tempered by temperance. Yeah. Um, I mean, strength doesn't really speak too much with others. I don't know if that's what you were hoping for, but um, this would speak to you. Um, how best to put that? Coming into your own power, um, into your own strength. That would be the best way to put it. Um, yeah. Um, 9 of skies. This would normally be 9 of swords. Right? Yeah. Um, interesting. I mean, this one is indicative of calamity, and I suspect there would be a few calamities, um, but they seem external to you. It feels like you'll you'll actually be weathering just fine. Yeah, you'll be in calm of the storm or whatever you'd like to say. But around you, it seems there will be trouble. Um, whether you want to do something about that or if you're just going to stay put until it passes, you can judge for yourself. 3 of fire, so normally 3 of wands. Um, speaks to a beginning. Um, it takes effort to get started, um, but once it gets going, it can be fairly self-sustaining. But the initial period, getting that up and running, working, um, that'll take some effort. I'm not quite sure what area of life this is. Uh, this could be a job, it could be a project, it could be a relationship. If you've got some insight, that's great, but they've left that vague for me for now. Farther in the future, 10 of Earth, tempered by temperance. It deals with, um, well, material stability. Um, you can call this financial security. Just as far as earthly, worldly, mortal things go, you're in a stable place. Um, the impact of temperance um, really just speaks to you being modest about it. Um, some people, once they've achieved this, they're inclined to splurge, I guess you could say. Um, Temperance is suggesting you'll keep on, um, well, with the modest approach that got you there. So, which is all good. Being humble is not the worst thing. So, yeah, something to look forward to. Great thing to have. A little concerned about this, although honestly, it seems like you yourself will be fine. Um, and then there's an opportunity there. So, and again, month, year, that past year, yeah. And then this is just farther into the future. Okay. We've got a question from Fina. And then after that, Akansha, and then Vandana. When you say free reading, are you wanting a general reading? If you have a specific question, that's fine. If not, I can do general. I just need to know before I do it. Okay. And the Venus question came through here. So I'm going to go ahead and shuffle while I read. Okay. So two parts to that. As far as what that would boil down to, it would be now or later, and then here or elsewhere. Okay. Looks like Midnight will be answering this one. Okay. Okay. Okay, this will speak to the first one, this will speak to the second. This is a pair, so they'll be working in tandem on that. Two of Swords. Interesting. I mean, this one just deals with choices itself. Let me see if there's something more assertive in the guide. Mm. Okay. As far as what the Two of Swords is suggesting, it's not really now or later. It's saying that, well, one, don't rush. Two, um, take time to, well, just think it through and really be diligent about deciding for yourself which way it goes. So, not a direct answer, more a means of getting your answer. But there's no rush with this one. You've got enough time, even if you do end up going with the now option. Um, you've got enough time to take it slow, do your due diligence, and get your answer. So there's that. Knight of Swords along with Ace of Cups. Okay. Let me check Knight of Swords. The Ace of Cups would suggest elsewhere. It favors um, new beginnings. Is really one of the meanings of that card. But let me, but let me check the influence of the Knight of Swords. Okay. Yeah, and as far as the Knight's influence, um, how to put that? Going elsewhere, there's a tendency to bring all of the old stuff with you. Not speaking physically. Um, and that can create conflict in the new place. Um, the Knight suggests be wise about those differences and those potential fights. Um, you don't need to win all of those to come out happy. It's really what we get to there. So yeah. Okay. Now we get to Untitled. I don't know, I see that second K and I want to say it, but and if you've got a specific person in mind, great. If not, that's fine too. If you want to tell me, I like having that knowledge. Helps me when I interpret. Um, okay. But it's fine if you don't. Just no problem. There we go. Okay. Interesting. Is this intentional? Okay. Akansha. It seems like you've got a particular person in mind. Um, I've got this card that will describe them. This card will describe their perspective of you. Normally, I would get thoughts or feelings in the middle, their thoughts or feelings towards you. Um, in this case, that's absence. And it's indicative that they don't really have anything there, at least nothing significant enough to bring up here. We've got Queen of Fire as well as the Devil. Okay. And again, this is their perspective of you. Queen of Fire suggests mental clarity, very sharp mind, uh, as well as just powerful. Um, not to say that physically, but spiritually, that they've got a strong power. Um, the Devil suggests they view you as a temptation, essentially, is what that would boil down to. Um, so for better or worse, that's what you've got going on, which might be why they've sort of, well, developed nothing there. This isn't the sort of thing that that most people would not be too keen on getting entangled with. So if you're really wanting something to, again, this is their perspective of you. That's not to say that that's the reality. So if you want something to happen, you'll definitely need to make the first move. Because given what I see here, they would have no reason to do so. And yeah, that's where we're at. Yeah. And then bandana. Um, I'm going to assume you want a general reading. Um, if you have a specific question, now would be the best time to drop it in. Otherwise, you might find out what you're not actually after. So, not always the worst thing. But if you're not ready to receive the information, it's not always in your best interest to have it. Okay, let's find a deck. Oh, back to Lost Forest. Okay. There's some other lighter things that we could have pulled, but they want to focus on these. And they are 1 and 2. So 5 of Earth and the Faceless. Interesting. 5 of Earth deals with hardship, loss. Um, this card I think of as rock bottom. That's what it represents in my mind. So, yeah. As far as the Faceless, this is a card specific to this deck. It was one of the bonus cards they made. The Faceless, um, the concept of this one is that they are able to put on whatever mask they need, just depending on the situation. And it's not so much that they are acting a part, um, but they choose to become that thing. So if you want to put on a mask of weakness and unimportance, like that's one way to cope with things. This also suggests you could put on a mask of strength and power, um, and basically put on the mask of a victor and become victorious. And again, you would incorporate that persona into yourself. It's not a temporary thing. It's not something you would just turn off. So yeah, it's very flexible. It can help, can easily adapt. And as long as you're choosing masks wisely, you yeah, you come out the winner. So yeah. All right. A quick shuffle. And we've just about hit time, so we'll call that good for today. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. It's always great doing readings for you guys and my joys in life. Hope you have a wonderful weekend, and until next time.